Yep, I'm going to record it. Because it's been ages. Welcome to my stream. Hello. That doesn't really sound like Vaporwave to me. Hang on, that doesn't work. Yeah, that works a little bit better. Yep, okay, there we go. Back to streaming. Kind of, sort of. Hello, it's me, it's Laz. It has been a long time since I've done any kind of streaming. For a lot of reasons. Turn this down just a tiny bit. Make sure my scenes are up correctly. No, not that one. And for posterity, I'm going to record this because it's been a while. Yeah, so, geez, it's been, let's see, since October, since I last streamed. Wait, was it? No, I don't even remember. Yeah, it was back in October, and I was trying to do my Spooktember things, and then everything very quickly fell apart. Very quickly indeed. I guess this is kind of a makeup stream-ish, and I'm trying to, catch up a little bit. I can't promise this is going to be, like, an amazing stream, but it's just to be like, oh yeah, you know, he's still around. So... I almost wish I could start the stream on super positive terms. It's not bad, it's not great, but yeah, effectively a lot has changed since, let's see, last October. I think a lot of what happened, of course, related to, once again, a bad roommate situation. It was to the point where I was experiencing, you know, really severe anxiety, like on a daily basis, so... And I took a trip to see one of my friends up in Canada, and I figured, like, well, you know, while I'm out there, I should be okay once I get back. Like, you know, maybe everything, I just needed a break, and then things will be fine, and I'll readjust, and that didn't really happen. So, you know, when I got back, I was just like, it was just bad every day. And, like, the problem with severe anxiety and, well, the sad is it feeds into depression, and these two things really cycle through each other. So it was so bad that I actually ended up reconnecting with the family that I've talked about that I hadn't seen or really spoken to for 4 years. And, you know, fast forward, I basically visited them throughout the entirety of the holidays. I was there for, like, Thanksgiving, you know, Christmas and New Year's and stuff. And then I decided, I was like, well, you know, maybe I will just finish up my lease in the area that I live now. So that's kind of the fast-forwarded version of what has gone on. You know, but I think the tough part was realizing that even though, you know, when I was, you know, when I was back home, it was a really strange feeling. It was a very strange feeling to suddenly change the life that I had, and it was causing, you know, it was like, of course, like, even though anxiety was gone, it was like, I was feeling, like, mildly depressed, and I still kind of do. So, this is me just being like, hey, what's up, it's me. You know, I'm trying to get back into some normal routines, because I really don't know what this year is going to bring. The objective is to finish my lease here, and that's just kind of it. You know, I'm just kind of leaving the area that I live in this kind of apartment situation because, you know, with roommates, it's just been too random for me to be like, this is, you know, I'm getting old, at least in terms of relative to me. It's like, you know, I'm going to be 33 this year, and this is where the world starts looking at you like, hey, shouldn't you have everything figured out? And it's like,
quick cash grab. You got it?
And it's like, you know, maybe? But, oh, first off, but anyway, welcome for those of you that are attending. This is kind of out of nowhere. So, Mango, hello. Max Punk says, Laz, I missed you. Thanks for subscribing. Jeez, imagine subscribing to the stream that only appears once every 3 months. And blurp. Cringe says, cringe. Hi, Laz, good to see you streaming. Yeah, this is me just trying to do stuff. I've been trying really hard to like, join communities or something, physically, like, go to groups and stuff, and it just hasn't really panned out. For example, God, I wish this stream was, like, more optimistic, but things are kind of changing in the ways that I wish they weren't. Like, for example, I actually went looking around, like, at a church group, not because I'm religious, but I was like, well, maybe this is an opportunity for me to, like, find a way to do, like, I don't know, like, charity work or help work or something, and it wasn't that at all. Like, I was like, it turned out to be this entirely different thing, and I was like, okay, that sucked. That wasn't great. I know, it's like, can you imagine me in that kind of setting? And then I actually went to a local comic shop that I really enjoyed, but a lot of stuff they used to do, they don't do anymore because of COVID. Like, they used to have a paint night where you would paint miniatures in a small group. That was kind of nice. Is an excuse to socialize around people who shared my interests, and that's harder to do. And it's been tough. Hope you're taking some time to take care of yourself, says the person in chat. And yeah, I am absolutely trying. I'm trying to put myself first. And it's frustrating because I was like, hey, this is a new start. I'll be better. And, like, I'm going to focus on videos and do all this. And it's like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be able to do now. This year is a strange one. I would say that I've been in probably one of the lowest points in my life in terms of mentally and emotionally in a long time. I think BP, that's Brandon Porter. Thank you very much for the 100 bits. Right during my work hours. Sorry. It was kind of out of nowhere. I just was like, you know what? Let me just stream. Let me just do it today. Toxic says, welcome back. Hi, Toxic. How are you? Things are going better? A little bit. A little bit. It's a little weird situation. And Maria Wolf says, hello. Get your brand name, Laz Briar. I'm literally streaming because I'm trying to get back into some formula and just update the channel a little bit. Oh my gosh, and do like an angel line. Haha. There it is. That's the angel voice. Just kind of like use this as a reason to talk about stuff because I have nowhere else to. It sucks. It's hard when you get to this age. Think of this episode like a weird podcast. So here's what's happened and what's been going on, and here's why it's kind of weird. For one thing, I transferred units, essentially. This was my thing. I was like, look, I told my folks, I'm like, look, I'm gonna try to go back if I can find a different unit, because I've been trying to transfer out of that unit for months. And I was like, look, if I can find a transfer, then I'll do that, instead of trying to sublease and just leave the apartment. And they had one slot available, and I was like, oops, sorry, that's my phone. I was like, if I can find something, that's a sign. And so they had one, and I shifted to it, and I was like, okay, great, this is a good start. And I'm separating myself from the situation. I'm just, taking myself out of the equation. I'm not going to escalate anything with this roommate or give them a chance to do that. I'm just going to leave it, right? That's how I do it. And wouldn't you fucking know it? The day that I'm transferring to the building, which is on the literal opposite side of the apartment complex, it could not be, it's the farthest building here. I see the problem roommate's car parked around that area, and I see it multiple times, in fact. Well, not multiple, like a couple times throughout the preceding week. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was dumbfounded. I was like, you've got to be shitting me. I'm like, I called the office and I'm like, this guy did not transfer units too, did he? Did he move too? I was like, is that what my luck was about to be? And they were like, no, he hasn't transferred. He's still in the same unit. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. So it's this really bizarre situation of like, I feel fine in the apartment. I've told my roommates they're pretty nice. You know, they're very different than I am. They're a lot of young guys, and they're like football players and stuff. Could not be far more different than me. You know, and I told them what the deal was, or one of them at least, and they were like, "Well, you know, we don't know who this guy is, so you don't have to worry about anything." But I was still just like, I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know, like, some part of me is relieved, but then a part of me is also like, whenever I have to go do something, unfortunately, anxiety is like, well, what if you see that car? Like, what would you do? So you've got this weird, like, situation of, like, you know, there's a little bit of discomfort when I'm trying to go do stuff, you know. When you're trying to avoid someone and when you're really trying to just remove them, you know, because you sense that they're a problem and that they're not going to get better, you know, you avoid them. And then when you can't exactly, it's like, okay, cool. But in the meantime, you know, like, yeah, I'm like, well, I'm here, you know, let me try to, it's gotta be like a group or something I can find that maybe I can just do stuff with. It would be really nice to just be able to talk to people, you know. Just like anybody, that would be nice. Having a conversation with people would be great. But that's so hard, chap. When you get to my age and you no longer have these like forced areas for socialization, this stuff becomes really hard. And it sucks. Reading the chat. Still a bit sick. Oh god. Sorry to hear, Toxic. I hope you get better. The flu is not fun. It's definitely that season. Best thing to do is get lots of rest. I hate flus. They feel like you're dying. I hate the chills and the fever especially. Such an awful feeling. But sending you lots of loves and hugs. Thanks. Sending you the same energy. I wish we were in the same physical space. It would be nice to do that, but unfortunately, life is that way, huh? Maximum, thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. It's, I wish I could do more for you guys, you know? You know, because it sucks. It's like, oh, you know, all I really wanted to do is like stream and like focus on videos and just do my own thing, but it's very difficult. And this year is going to be different for me, and I'll explain why. Like, I owe you guys that much of an explanation too. There you have to think, have to plan your sure, find something to make you happy. Maybe invite friends to be part of your stream. I don't have any friends to invite. I mean, I have people online that I know, but you know, when I think about friends too, it's like, it's tough, you know, when you just want to be like in a space with someone that you know, of sorts. But I'll tell you guys too, like what these things. I'm getting on in years, and I can't really keep doing the roommate apartment situation. It worked when I was literally just moving out, and I think the first 2 years I just got really, really lucky. Super, super lucky. But what's going on now, and this is what I think is going to happen, is, well, I don't know. It's an idea. When my lease is expired, I'm not going to renew it. You know, they keep getting more expensive, and you know, I'll be back with my family again to save money. But what my family has been talking about is they've been renting this cheap home that they're thinking of moving out of. My parents, at least, and they kind of want myself and my brother to take it over for them. And this is pretty good because this place is cheap. There's nothing like it on the market. It's a home for about $800, and you're not going to find anything like this anywhere else at all. It's impossible to find that. You know, it was either going to be that, or I was like, me and my brother were probably going to like have to find a room together, which is fine, of course. I get along really well with my brother. He's a great kid, you know, and it was really nice seeing him again. But you know, that's such a different path, and it's like stuff like that has made me very contemplative about like the directions I thought my life would take. So, you know, I mean, there's still a lot of time between now and then, but supporting myself individually in my own place is just kind of like not possible, I guess. It's tough out there, chat. The people, even my age, and younger kids are looking at a future where they can't even afford their own home, basically. You know, we're probably just going to end up having to rent. That's the future that we're looking at. So, it's a unusual, tough situation. Maybe not tough, but you know, I mean, like I can do that. Believe me and my brother, if we take over the house, we'd be happy to. It's nothing big, but it's also just like, is that really where I plan to be? No, not really, not exactly. You know, so you think your life is going in one direction, and then it's, you know, it doesn't. Trying to hang out with friends, but everyone's busy with kids. Yeah, and it's like you get to this age, and like in your 20s, you kind of get this free reign to just stumble around and just not really have anything figured out, and you just don't know what's going on, and people are like, yeah, it's fine. You know, that's fine. No one expects you to have it figured out. Nobody does. No, you've got like all this time. But when you're in your 30s, Chad, suddenly the world is like, okay, well, you know, are you in a relationship? Do you have a house? Are you, you know, well, what are you doing? Do you have a stable job? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, not really. You know, it's looking like I'll be with my family to save money for a bit, or they'll move and then I'll be with my brother and we'll be splitting rent, and that's what we'll be doing. And you're like, oh my god, I'm just like, I'm one of those people. I'm a character gag from a cartoon. I'm like the side character in a SpongeBob episode where all these disheveled, broken people are talking about their dreams, and they're like, "We used to have dreams." I mean, it's not that bad, chat, but it's like, you know, I can't do the roommate stuff anymore. Not because I have bad roommates. Usually, like most of my roommates have been very nice people. My roommates here are very nice, very polite. You know, they're clean. They don't have any issues. But it's like, you know. I can't really do my own thing. And then what I've realized too, when I was with my family, of course I felt good. Or at least I didn't feel anxious about stuff. But what that revealed was that I was like a general sense of depression, which I've been, you know, pretty much struggling with since that time, you know. And again, it's like something you don't really pick up on if you're anxious all the time. You know, you don't really think or feel it. You're anxious. And then when you're not, then you're like, oh shit, you know, everything seems very hard to enjoy. And you're trying to reach out to people and you can't seem to find anything to hang out with or people to talk with, and it's rough. I've been trying to move myself and get myself out of the apartment, you know, but it's like when you go out multiple times in a week, you know, to just get yourself out there thinking that maybe an opportunity will come along, and you kind of feel like it's getting shut down, you start to be like, well, what am I doing? What is the point? Life is like rolling a dice. Yeah, of course. It's a lot of luck and a lot of people that you know. You know, coming from my background means the odds were always stacked against us. It's cool you're rekindling your relationship with my parents. Yeah, I was worried about that, but they have chilled out considerably. You know, they're still kind of rough around the edges. You know, they're still conservative. They're still Trumpies and stuff like that. It's kind of disappointing, but it wasn't like it was years ago. So you know, and I don't know, like, does that mean, chat, that you have to do that and you have to forgive people who've done you harm and stuff? Not necessarily. I did it kind of out of desperation. I was so tired of feeling perpetually terrified and depressed every day that I just had to find a way out, you know. And I'm glad, in a way, and I'm kind of glad I did, because at least I've got a prospect now. Because after this lease was up, I didn't know. Was I going to renew again? Sorry, I'm pausing here to read chat. And I apologize if this is a bummer, but this is just kind of what's been going on. You know, I wish I had some exciting Angel Dust content. I wish I could bring you guys, like, super high energy and be like, today we're going to play, we're going to return to Night in the Woods, and we're going to do all this fun stuff. It's like, I wish it was that. I really do wish I had my life back the way that I thought it was, but, you know, not quite the case. And a chat member says, have you tried doing things that you wanted to try before and maybe meet some people there? Yes, actually, that's exactly what I tried to do today. I went to a comic shop today. I got myself a couple of them. I mean, it's like a hobby shop, really. It's got all sorts of stuff. I asked the guy, and I was like, hey, man, do they have any, like, game events? Are there like, ways you can learn? Do people teach you? And he's like, oh, well, you know, if you want to learn, you know, you can join our Discord. And I'm like, oh, okay. Which, I guess I could, but I'm like, do I really want to join a Discord and learn this, you know, Magic the Gathering? It's like, I was kind of hoping, like, to meet people. Like, I don't want to just do it online. You know, that defeats the point, I guess. And, you know, the paint night that they used to do is not there. Like, people do go up there to, like, game and stuff, but it's, like, 40k stuff, and I'm like, damn, you know, I need, like, a mixer. I just need a chance to talk with someone. And, you know, I thought about, like, oh, maybe I'll go to the movies, and it's like, after today, I don't have the energy for it anymore. I'm just preferring, like, home more than anything, or the apartment, rather. When you're in your 30s, it's like, Harry, you set for retirement already? Yeah, it's bad, man, and it's like, I'll be 33. The big double 3. And, you know, the best I can do is work something out with my brother. You know, I think that's our best shot, is to find something together. Or we'll take... I don't know how, like, set my parents are on this idea that they have. We'll take the house. We'll take it over. Because they want to move and they want to find something smaller. They're finding it too hard to manage this old... Like, it's an old house that would just never even finished. It's a fixer-upper. But, you know, I could do that. Would I be happy? I don't know. I don't think so, but I'd be okay with it, you know. Friend 1 married, kids, me. I saw a dog today. Yeah, that's the highlight. Oh, today I saw a dog. 23 has been good to you so far? It's been okay. My anxiety has been mostly under control. It's not great when I go out because, of course, you know, it's like the reasons I explained earlier, chat. It's like, okay, great. The problem person is no longer in the place that I live, you know, but for some insane reason, I've seen their car, like, around the area that I live, or the building. It makes no sense, you know. So, of course, a part of my brain is like, great, now then when we're going out to do something, we might fucking, like, run into that car. So it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's like, I'm just like, not even that God, huh? Like, I couldn't even get that peace of mind, could I? It's like, jeez. It's improving. I will put my health first. You know, I was really pushing myself to be like, alright, man, we're back. We gotta start streaming again. We gotta start making videos again. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it when I can. Which sucks, because I was like, hey, everybody, I'm back. I'm, like, building up this huge chorus of, like, he's returning. Finally, the legend, blah, blah, blah. This is happening. Oh, my God. It's this huge thing. And it's like, you know. You know, it like, of course it sucks, because, like I've said, you know, like, Has-Been Hotel and the Hell of a Boss stuff, that community has done so much for me, and I've always wanted to give back to it and be a part of that. And I still consider myself a little bit a part of that, but, you know, having to accept the reality that it's not really going to be the same like it was when it all first started happening, like in 2019, is something that I'm really just going to have to accept, you know? I just can't go back to that. God, this music, like, really fits that, by the way. Just like, I'm just like imagining, like, the face going like, it's over, man. It's not going to be the same. Play the tune. It's like the credits. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Guest star. Oh, I thought that said not safe for work. I'm like, excuse me? And if I didn't say hi to you in the chat already, welcome. I'll be streaming for a little bit, just to catch you guys up on stuff. Hope you guys are doing better than I am. Games like D&D are better with people in real life. Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of hard to dive into, you know? It sucks too, because like, see all these, like, you know, you can't compare yourself to other people who have it together, but you'll see people who like have these really awesome gamer groups and these great people, and they're just, yeah, having fun. And it's like, I'm like, yeah, that would be nice. So, if you bought Placid Duck Simulator, is that the thing Vinny streamed where like the ducks randomly generate and they just kind of fall into the water? That's a duck simulator? Yeah, maybe. Isn't there someone who just has that stream on all the time and it's just like constantly doing a thing? It's $2. Oh, okay. I'll have to look into it. I'd love to do like a liner quest stream. Yeah, I would say, you know, I mean, I think chat right now, like, I think I'm probably at the lowest point I've been mentally and emotionally for a while. You know, it's gotten better-ish since October. You know, I've taken myself out of a bad situation, but I have not returned to what I would say formula. Back to formula. So, you know, it's, and that was kind of I was like, it's so funny, you know, of all the problems that I usually have, you know, all the things that I struggle with, I'm like, well, I don't really have like depression. I don't struggle with that. I think it's just anxiety. And now I'm like, I get up on days and I'm like, oh yeah, man, you do. This feeling that you've got, like, there are days where I just feel like hollowed out, you know, where I'm like this empty space. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. You know, all the things that I used to enjoy about like going to the library and lots of things that I used to do have just been kind of vaporized. And I'm like, oh man, this is what this is, huh? The luster of when I first came to this town, you know, about 10 years ago, and I've, you know, been back and forth from it, it was very exciting, you know, it was great. And, you know, trying to recapture that, well, I'm not trying to do that specifically, that's, of course, not the exact thing, but it doesn't have the same, you know, dopamine hit as it did, enjoying it the same way that I used to, just it doesn't quite happen. So, and then that's something that I have to just kind of accept and be okay with and start moving forward from. Things change, you know. Therapy is a helpful option, someone suggests, and I agree. Therapy is great if you can afford it. Boy, I would love to have the means to talk to a therapist. I think if you want an online or local appointment, they start at $200 or something. Very, very expensive. I've honestly considered that if I start dealing with, you know, intense anxiety or depression, I think I would probably just visit the ER and say, look, you know, I'm dealing with this stuff. I've had a stream of suicidal thoughts. I've had all these problems, like, and seeing a doctor, last time I did that, they didn't really provide me many things. They were like, well, you know, you need to change your situation, and we can't prescribe you anything for anxiety. He said, we can prescribe these antidepressants, but they'll take about 4 weeks to kick in. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, great. So it's like, if I'm in such a bad place, I'd probably go to the ER and say, like, look, you know, this is where I'm at. I can't seem to find any help in an immediate sense, you know, and I think that's what I would do if I had to. Not that I'm gonna, but um, but yeah, and I mean, I guess I'm making it worse than it sounds. Maybe today might have just been a bad day, but oh, excuse me, sinuses are great. But that me streaming is me trying to take care of it, is trying to do something normal that I'm familiar with, and at least it gives me a chance to talk and bombard the chat with stuff. We might play a game too. I've been playing a lot of Marvel Snap. I've actually been enjoying that game quite a lot. A little bit too much, so we may play that if I have the energy. But let's see, did I leave anything out? I mean, that's where I am and where things are, and even when even when this lease is over with, within 4 to 6 months, or 4 to 7 months rather, however long I stay, the next step is like I don't know. It's like if you ask me what I really wanted, and it's like, well, I'd love, an apartment to myself would be nice. That'd be great, but even that is so difficult to do. And I used to feel bad because I was like, well, freelancing just doesn't cut the mustard. And like my brother is a junior mechanic, and he works full time at 14 an hour. I mean, he has to actually help the family. He's actually paying for that house to a degree. But like if he tried to go out on his own, even he would struggle to afford a solo place and bills. So that's what we're looking at. The evisceration of the middle class and less affordable housing, as you well know, in the United States, and stagnant wages. It's not a great time, I guess. I was hoping to have like the miracle comeback. I was thinking, okay, this is it. We got a new chance. We can finish up this lease in peace and quiet, kind of. And then there's always something. There's always something. The person that you were trying to get away from still ends up in your peripheral somehow. Even though there's really no reason to be bothered by it, it's still enough that my anxiety is like, great, that's something. And even if I wasn't anxious, I've noticed that either my brain tries to find a way to be anxious, or I'll feel depressed. It's a mixed bag. Some days are better than others. So, that's kind of where I'm at. That's why I'm going to upload this to the channel too. So people are like, oh, what's going on? This. Basically this. That's kind of what it's been for the past several months. And it's been interesting. Let's see. I think I covered all the really bad stuff. And it's not even that bad necessarily. Oh, but it's exhausting. And Chad, if any of you, and I'm sure most of you have dealt with this kind of stuff, when you wake up with these problems and you're like, God, another day of this, and you're just like, how long do I have to keep doing this or feel this way? Ugh. It's fatiguing. Cool. And as I am talking about serious things, Chad, like depression, anxiety, and trying to keep with it, we have a bot in chat. There's a bot in chat. Everyone fucking murder the bot. Time to kill this bot. You're in my... I can't believe you. Let's see. Click to reply. Pin this message. How do I... Oh, they've changed it. Oh, here we go. First message in my chat. First and only message. And that was it. I love that. That's my favorite thing. Hey chat, I've been struggling with some mental stuff. Hey, would you like more followers? No, actually, I would like Saluf. Not really. Well, here you go. It's like, geez, thanks. Um, that's like a, I really wish I had like a sound for that. Like, what do we do with the bots? Is there like a destroy robot sound somewhere? Destroy robot. Asking, Sophia said she will kill humans in the future. Well, that's not what I was looking for. Oh, of course, Elon Musk appears. The world's stupidest motherfucker. You know what's funny? Toxic says live in the moment, and that's a spiritual phrasing. When I was looking up, when I had really bad anxiety, I feel like I'm gonna be attacked. Level of anxiety, I would look up like gurus. Gurus are a part of Hindi spirituality who talk a lot about dealing with anxiety. Again, I'm not religious nor spiritual, really, but I think that they offer a lot of valuable stuff. But the way that they talk about anxiety and problems is so quaint. It's like you're talking about little stress things. You know, you have to realize that the problems are in your mind and you can turn it off. And it's like you think your anxiety is like, oh, I've got to go to work. Oh, I've got a meeting. I've got a thing. The little silly little, oh gosh, I have a performance. I hope I'll do okay. My anxiety is like this nightmarish blob that is filling my brain with insane thoughts of paralyzing fear. Their thoughts and my situation, or the situation I was in, is not like anything they're talking about. It was so funny. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's what it was. I was going to say, it's so isolating. That's another thing that adds to the depression chat. The anxiety that I was experiencing felt unique to me because it was based on a strange situation. Most people, I guess, I don't know, I don't feel like experience anxiety where they feel like they're living with a hostile roommate. Maybe, I don't know. It's not that unique. But it was such a specific form of anxiety, trying to find solutions for it outside of move. God, it was so isolating. I felt so incredibly, like, on my own with that. Like, how the fuck do you get out of that? Like, what do people do or say? You know? It didn't make it better. Severe anxiety depression sucks. Oh yeah. They're not fun. They work in tandem. Like anything about a traumatic will have you looking over your shoulder constantly. Yeah, it's basically that. And it's like it's not valid. It's not like logical. You know, there's no actual harm. I mean, here's the rational response. This is what I tell my brain. Like, look, man, like the guy will, I don't know why this fucker's around here, but you know, he's not coming into the apartment. And he's not going to do anything. Not that he ever was. And, you know, you're in the same area, so you may encounter some guy in the proximity, but the brain doesn't like that anyway. It's like, I don't want to see this thing at all. You know? So, or I don't know. I've also read that, like, those feelings are also very valid and, like, you need to pay attention to them, so. It's a very mixed bag. It's like, your brain is trying to protect yourself, basically. But it's just not a great feeling to have. No advice is unsolicited. Believe me, I'm not like saying this to get like advice, chat. Of course, I just wanted to tell you guys what was going on, what the deal had been, you know, how it's been, ha 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 ha. You know. What can you do to make it feel better? I don't really think there's much you guys need to do, honestly. I mean, you know, there's nothing like I can say, oh, chat, you got to do this for me to make it better. The things that I have to do are, I don't know, they're long term. Fix my career. No, kidding. People don't realize anxiety can affect you physically. Yeah, it messes with you too. That's also like, it fucks with my high blood pressure. That doesn't help at all. That's fun. Look, believe me, if I was in a bad place, you know, and I almost did. Like I remember a few days I was having like very intense, like, suicidal thoughts. And I'm like, well, this is fucking annoying. And I was like, if this keeps going on, I'm just going to go check into the ER. I'm not going to deal with this. That's what I would do. I would not let myself suffer with that. If I kept dealing with those kind of intense feelings, I'm like, I have to go to the ER. I have to say, look, I'm dealing with this stuff, and I can't seem to cope with it right now. Do you have some drugs you could kill my brain with to fool it? To be like, can you make it, like, just shut up for a little bit? The kind of advice feeling ice is very true. You realize how much better? Yeah. Let's see. But I'm trying to think. I mean, we could try to add some positivity here. Let's see. I mean, my roommates are nice, chat. There's nothing bad about that. One of my roommates, I was telling him about the stuff, and he was very understanding. He's like, well, don't worry about it, man. He's like, we're chill here. I'm like, okay. It's very different. It's not my kind of setting, but that's okay. The apartment's very clean. These guys are they're pretty relaxed. They don't smoke. And I'm like, that's cool. So there's no problems there. Apartment-wise, it's pretty nice, And when I'm in my apartment, I feel fine, It's just like, God, part of me is just like, can we like hermit for like 7 months and just not go anywhere? And I'm like, God damn it. And it's like, I don't want to do that. The reason I don't want to do that is because, like, I don't want a level of anxiety to affect me that badly, but, when I go out and do stuff, when I need to, it's like, ugh, it sucks. Ugh. Let's see. I would talk about, like, Hell of a Boss and Has-Been stuff, but that's been pretty... Well, no, wait, no, it hasn't. I was gonna say Baron. Oh, man, I think that's what it was, too. So that was another thing, and it's part of, like, a thing I'm having to accept. Or about my situation changing. I remember when the animations dropped for Has-Been stuff that we hadn't seen. We finally saw a moving angel dust.
You finally saw me moving around for the first time.
And it's like, whoa. And I was visiting my family, and I couldn't really talk about it. I couldn't stream it or do anything. So that kind of sucked. And it was like this crossroads. I was like, well, this is where things are changing, I guess. That kind of thing can be very hard to accept. The thing is changing. It's like I might not be able to do the things that I want to do with Has-Been and Hell of as much as I did, a few years ago, and that was a tough feeling to deal with. And I was like, damn, is this what this is gonna be? That's like, yeah, it might be, actually. That's how things might be changing. No shame in going to the ER if it gets bad. Yeah, I have totally, like, chat, this, like, I hate to say it, but, like, I'm actually very relaxed when I go to the hospital, if I need to. I feel a lot better because I'm in an environment where I know I'm okay, and, it's like if I need to be looked at, like, I'll be taken care of there, I'm not worried at all. I feel very relieved when I go to the ER and I'm like, well, I've got this situation, and I'm like, because, like, seeing a doctor takes time, and you may not get what you need. And an ER is like, yeah, I can't pay the bill. Send it to me and it'll never get paid. But hey, at least I'm getting immediate help. And yeah, and like, if I had to go to do that, and I'm not saying I would, but if I had to do that, I think they would give me something to help settle things down in my head. But, oh, right, I was trying to talk about Has-Been and Hell of a stuff. Yeah, last year, too, was not great for Hell of a Boss. That was a really bad year. That was a rough year. We got 2 episodes, and apparently a lot of people didn't like the second one, or like, which I understand. I watched it, and I didn't have the, I didn't feel good to talk about it. I just wasn't again, not dealing with a great situation at the time. And I think my problem with it then was, like, it felt like it had an issue with focus. It was trying to do like 4 different things at once, which was like Octavia doing her own thing, and then Blitz trying to do his own thing, and then Luna and Octavia having a thing, and then the Shaggy Dog plot with Millie and Moxie, and there was like all this, there was an attempt to combine all these different elements together, and there's a lot of stuff going on that kind of messed up the writing for it. Also, oh well, I probably won't talk about it. I was gonna say, apparently there were leaks and stuff. I'm not going to talk about them really, except for like I saw some, I think, leaked writing that Viv had written, and I'm like, yeah, this sounds like one person wrote it. I was like, this definitely sounds like somebody wrote it, one person. So I was like, when I read the stuff, I was like, oh, okay. I guess I don't have as much to worry about this series than I thought. I was like, well, I didn't know how she was going to do certain things, and I'm like, It's like, I guess I have less things to worry about as a writer. I wish she had hired a writer. That's what I'm saying. Well, Miss Kovac's voice, yeah, absolutely. It's like, damn, who's gonna take over the spider?
Is it going to be me? No, probably not.
I think, a reason why things have been tougher, not depressing but sad, is because I'm also having to kind of confront that a lot of certain things are changing and departing, as they do. It's not the first year anymore, not even the second year, where I had found a nice community, and I was meeting cool people, and I was focused on only writing, and I only had my writing to worry about. What a great feeling that was. And we were getting this drip feed of content, and there was this awesome build up to the pilot and all this stuff, I have to confront that's gone. That's over. And that's okay, I should apply as Angel Dust voice actors. Yeah, so that'll be, I'm pretty sure they've already got a choice for that. I guarantee it. And they also want them to sing, which I can't do. A lot of things have changed, and they're not going to be the same. And I don't think they're going to go back to that original feeling, and that's okay. But of course, for me especially, departing from those feelings is tough. It's like, damn, it's like, I wish it didn't have to change like that. What did you miss? Hey, Killwolf. You missed an hour, but I've recorded this stream, so I'll be uploading it. Just a little catch-up. Amir Talai is the new rumored new spider. Oh, okay. What is this rumor based on? I don't even know who that is. Well, he's got one voice acting role. His Twitter says AD 3024, the future Angel Dust. Oh, okay. Bananas are good for reducing depression. Are they really? That's cool. I actually got some bananas today, but I use those for my Crohn's. They're very good for my Crohn's. They do a great job of keeping that in check sometimes. Yeah, that could be it too. Lack of potassium. Who knows? Maybe I will just hermit for the next 6 to 7 months. You know, it's not a great feeling. You kind of wish that that feeling in a person like didn't have that much impact on your life, so you force yourself to do stuff. But it doesn't. For me, it doesn't change a lot. I don't go out and I feel better each time. I feel kind of the same. So I'm like, why am I putting myself through this exactly? So, too bad bananas can't cure depression. That'd be amazing. Ugh, if only life were that simple. They have serotonin that helps brain. Nice. Oh, hang on, Chef. Let me get something to drink. I have my mini fridge here. Okay. Oh, big yawn. Let's see here. Alright, hopefully this doesn't get copyright claimed, but I have a feeling it will. Just putting on random stuff in the background. But yeah, so yeah, I guess, the wind was a little knocked out of my sails too, because you try to, again, you try to find people to interact with and ways to socialize, and you just can't. And, of course, I know people like, use online stuff, and it's like not quite the same. So sometimes, at least me, you just want to go somewhere and just be in the presence of someone who would like to be around you. So as for copyright, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really going to monetize this video. I guess I will. It's not a huge deal. That would be nice, but I got a few comics from the shop that I went to today, chat. Not really for reading because the material is not very interesting, but I love the variant colors. I got two. It was Batman and Spawn variants. So there's this one with Harley Quinn and Spawn on the front. It's really nice. I had a Carnage one. I grabbed a Carnage one. I love the front cover art. And there was one for Punchline. Punchline is like a side DC character. I love the art for it, so I grabbed it on those alone. I don't really care about the contents. Yeah. So I'm just like, this is nice. I'll take these. But, oh god. Oh, jeez. A lot sleepier than I'd like to be. Let's see. Too bad I'm not a famous React Lord streamer. Huh. Bananas are a state of mind, yes. State of the soul. Ugh. Let's see. Oh, that's right. In the latest news, here's something completely... Oh, jeez, what a week, too. Side note, we're continuously learning that the industry, and by that I mean the entertainment industry, is still filled with a lot of guys that are in power who use it to exploit their position through abuse or otherwise. What a bummer. It was like, you know, that shit with Justin Roiland was kind of shocking, though I guess I'm not that surprised. I mean, okay, let me tell you something, chat. When I learned that Garrison Keller, and if you're not familiar with Garrison Keller, he did like the Prairie Compendium Psi talks. Like, it's this religious-based humor. It's like the most white bread kind of humor you can imagine. It's this oh gee shucks kind of humor, you know? It's supposed to be really wholesome and stuff. When I learned that even he was a sex pest and had to pay hush money to a person, like, I'm like, yeah, the fact that there's a person, like an old white guy in power who's abusing it, that didn't surprise me that much. Justin Roiland was, like, kind of a bummer, and it's like, wow, that affects a lot. That's, like, a lot of brands. There's a lot of stuff Roiland has touched. I'm not sure what will happen at this point. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland being weird creeps. It's like, oh, okay, well, what else do you know? And, oh, and then the other guy. This one really fucking sucked, dude. This was such a bummer. The guy from Channel 5, Andrew something, you know, also turned out to be a sex pest, and I'm like, cool. And it just goes to show, you know, it doesn't take much. Guy in power will abuse it.
Don't forget, you're here forever.
Guy in power uses it to abuse people and is a creep. That one kind of sucked too, because, you know, Channel 5 was such a great way to expose a lot of weird people in an honest fashion. But I'm like, you know, I'm just like, yeah, well, what else you fucking got? I'm pretty much unsurprised that certain people are just going to be these creeps. Is this a recorded stream? Yeah, I recorded this one. I want to upload it to the channel so people know, like, hey, you know, where's this weirdo been? I wish it was a happier stream, but it's, you know, I have to be honest, and I can't lie. It'll make me feel worse. I met so many people through Rick and Morty. I mean, well, you know, you can still enjoy. It's not like your contacts are cut off. It just, yeah. It really does suck. Of course. Reddit? I'm actually curious how the subreddit is doing. I wonder if they're on fire. I'm curious what's going on here. Wonder if I'll be... Oh, well, it's just jokes. I was just reading something. Milquetoast reaction at best, I suppose. Yeah. Dude Mang, also, thank you very much for the subscription. Are you sure you want to give me money that after I haven't been around for 3 goddamn months? You've also subscribed for 30 months. What the fuck? Where does the time go? That's 6 months away from 3 years. Three years, and a lot of stuff changes. For better or worse. Let's see. I was just trying to talk about current events. Trying to make the stream fun! Ha ha ha! Fun! It's fun, everyone. Laugh now! Ha 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 ha! Also, I don't want to be too loud. I unfortunately am not the room position is not set up to where I can like start screaming without someone hearing me. Which is unfortunate, but Oh, I've also been yawning a lot. That's been fun. So, yeah. You know, as for myself, I don't know what things will look like in about 7 months. I mean, I guess I do, but you know, I have to start mentally preparing myself for this, you know, change in this life path, and I can make it work, of course, but I guess when you have to do that, you're like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. It's funny how fast it went, too. And how quickly things have changed. Yeah. Hope everyone had a good New Year's holidays. Yeah, I hope you did, chat. And mine were pretty good. I mean, you know, it was conflicting, but it was nice to spend it with family. And you know, getting into spirit was hard. The thing about, oh man, I have a love-hate relationship with December because it happens and it's like, and then it's over. It's like, oh, peace on earth, goodwill to mankind, love, blah, 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 reconnection. It's this huge build up to it, you know, holly jolly spirit, the music and this and that. And then like the day after, it's like, all right, fuck off, get back to work. Santa's dead. Back to work, worms. And it's like, geez. Yeah, all that shit about goodwill to mankind, screw off. That's, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. It's like, geez. It's like, come on, guys, give it some time, why don't you? That's the third yawn I've done, chat. Promise I'm not that tired. Or maybe I am, I don't know. Still got work to do, but that's okay. You didn't hear it? Hear what? Oh, the yawn? Oh yeah, no, I was, I moved away from the mic for that one. I made quite a few of those. Hopefully we'll get some more Hell of a Boss stuff soon. Have we even seen a preview yet? What do you think? Of anything aside from Has-Been? No, we haven't. No, I don't think we have. I mean, we saw that guy, that weird goofy shark guy. I think that was it, wasn't it? Or was that a leak? That might have been a leak. Apologies, I can't tell anymore. It's all blurring together. Happy year. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is something good, though. It is the year of the rabbit. It's my favorite year, the year of rabbit. I can't wait for the rabbit. This one I feel personally responsible for. Like, I feel pressured about this one because it's like, holy shit. Like, but you've got to draw so much Bune. I'm like, oh, but stuff. I have been drawing a lot more, chat, I will say that. Not great stuff, but I told myself, and I found ways that I'm going to make a concentrated improvement, or concentrated effort to improve my art this year. So that's been really nice. So I have a new tablet now. It's a Wacom. It's just a smaller one, but it lets me just kind of sketch stuff really quick if I need to, or do completed drawings. And I follow this guy. You probably have seen him, but he was like, we've got this year-long art class thing ready to do. And like, you know, practice gesture drawing for this year, or the first month, and this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I need to draw more. Yeah, like and the thing is, the guy was talking about so many important things. You kind of have to learn how to practice. You have to practice getting better at practice. You can't just draw anything. Like, something he pointed out is when you gesture draw for references, if you reference crazy poses, you're not going to really need that. Your brain's not going to bother to remember that because you probably won't use those poses, you know, in your visual library. So it's important to reference things your brain is like, oh yeah, that. Okay, let's use that. And I want to get better at color stuff, but that's going to take a while. But I wouldn't say improved, but I've checked out a lot of really interesting anatomy things or just basic construction tutorials about the body. And that's so cool. Like, when you're like, okay, here's how the body is reduced to shapes. And you're like, oh shit. So suddenly, you know, you see everything is like, you know, the sphere, the cylinder, the rectangle, the trapezoid. It's pretty cool. It's like X-ray vision. And you're like, okay, this is how this works. So, as much as I liked Hell of a Boss, Harbin, I like that. Typo, but that's a good typo. Has-been should have taken priority? I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. To be honest, with how Viv writes, I don't really trust the series anymore. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm okay with saying I've written something I prefer. Because what I've picked up, I'm like, yeah, okay. I have a movie night with my grandma. That sounds cool. Nice. I hope it's a good one. I hope it's not something that will be like, oh my gosh, why did you show this to me? I wanted to see the Puss in Boots in theaters, and I think I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it at home. Like, I keep trying to make myself go out and do stuff, and I'm not really fulfilled when I do it. I'm just like, okay. It's like, I don't think I need to keep overly forcing myself to do things like that. I think I'll be okay enjoying it at home. Reminds me of those videos we were making. Yeah, I know. It would be nice to go back to that time. I really wish my life was that again, you know? Those are days that I really have to look at and say, like, fuck, man. It's like, I wish my life was just... I wish my existential crisis was back at worrying about writing and creativity and not, like, anxiety and sometimes depression. I wish that's what it was, you know? I definitely miss that the most. When a lot of things were just a lot more simple. But such is life. I wanted to watch that. Yeah, I think, you know, I'm going to hoist the black flags for that one. You can actually watch it on YouTube, but you have to pay $25 for it. And I'm like, I need to save money. I had to pay $800 this month for rent and a transfer fee. So I'm like, I'm a little skinny. I gotta be careful. 60 Vanilla Duckers. Beep the Meep? Okay, maybe I will. I like watching a lot of Star Trek. I stumbled into some Deep Space Nine out of context compilations, and they're amazing. Because Star Trek is like the series where you really do need context. Otherwise, it's fucking insane. And I was like, I'm like, oh my god, it's like the funniest shit. It just breaks me in half. Here's Cisco doing a little children's rhyme, going like, Ella Marie, 1, 2, 3, you know, Captain Cisco. And it's like, unless you know why he's doing that, it's insane looking. It's deranged. It's like, why is this happening in this weird space show or anything that Quark does? Oh, it's the best. Is it bad that I'm working on an Angel's fan comic? No. I have written 3 books that is fan work for Angel. Because I'm afraid the show is going to gloss over things I hope we get addressed. Yeah, I understand that fear. a lot of people are like losing the message with Angel, and I'm kind of concerned. It's like I'm like, you know, it's like people forgot that Angel's kind of a badass bitch, and like he can protect himself, and he summons guns, and he does all this cool stuff, and it's like, well, no, you don't understand. He's just this weak, pathetic abuse victim, right? And it's like, well, no, actually, he's not that at all, but whatever, I guess we're back to square one. Can't wait for Shrek 5. Shrek 5. There are now 5 Shreks. And it's somebody, but 5 times. People forget about Feral Angel, yeah. And that sucks, too. Like, a lot of all that work, oh, man. Boy, do I... This sucks. Boy, do I miss the days where I was just, like, in Discords and lamenting, like, people getting character details accuracy. I wish my life was that again, instead of, like, hey, man, would you like to feel nervous and anxious today? No. Well, here you go. Ha ha ha. I'd love to see them. What are the books like? Oh, are you talking about the stuff that I wrote, or something else? Yours. Very well. It's the Thief Spider Hotel series. Please read it. Oh, never mind. The Archive of Our Own is down for maintenance. Well, no! Oh, that sucks. Well, you can find, let's see, I wonder what happens if you just Google that. Thief Spider Hotel. What would happen if I did that? Yeah, I think if you just Google Thief Spider Hotel, let me see. The Thief Spider Hotel. What happened? Yeah, the Thief Spider in the hotel. Yep, that is the first Google result. If you do that, apparently my thing is the first thing that comes up. That's cool. I'm very proud of that. And that's the entire thing. And I still kind of write it. I mean, I do. I just haven't. It's been a while.
I'm always a softie with my little Nugsy around. How could I not? He's my little piggy wiggy.
They used to give me millions for that line. Am I going to turn into an old, decrepit old man, Chet, in a nursing home? And they'll be like, I used to be a millionaire. I used to say things and people would give me money. I was amazing. Yes, Mr. Briar, let's get you into the house, Mr. Briar. Sure thing, Mr. Briar. Let's get you your soup. Oh, soup. Yes, the soup. The utter insane things that I'll be saying. Chad, how's my mic quality been, by the way? It's not my usual setup, so I don't know how I sound. Meow, meow, meow. I got in my meows. It's good? Great. That would be bad if I had been speaking for like 2 hours and fanfiction.net also has the Thief Spider Hotel, but I don't add anything to that one anymore. It's just sorry, I'm just like, oh wow, I haven't checked this in ages. I really should have added to this, but I didn't. Oh, that's right, I had a skull rabbit. That's so funny. Yeah, I didn't publish anything on fanfiction.net because it didn't get as much reception. Anyway, yeah. I forgot what I was talking about. But if you enjoy it, I hope you do. It's been fun working on it. I hope to publish the final thing this year with the release of Has Been Hotel, because that's where I assume I'm gonna get to know like how it all goes. I watched the Angel Reader videos, 5 each. Angel Reader videos? Oh yeah. To the continuing? Well, I hate to disappoint you. I don't know if when that will be. I will try to do something, but the way my brain works is like I need to be in a good place. You know, it's like I'm lying to myself, I guess. It's like if I start doing a video, it's like then I'm saying to myself, "Oh, everything's fine to be doing this," and it's like it's really not, though. If that makes sense. I hate doing things when things are not well or perfect. I guess it's a very stupid way to say it, but you know. It's a weird psychological thing. I like to work in a positive environment. That's kind of how you do things, or at least how I do things. So. Oh, mercy. Mamma mia. Sorry, Jed, I'm checking socials for any garbage. I mean, it's everywhere. I just thought of Zorn. Mamma mia, here I go again! Morty, we're going to jail, Morty. Oh, jeez, Rick, really? Why? Oh, it's terrible, Morty. It's all coming down, Morty. It's falling apart, Morty. What a terrible joke. That wasn't even remotely funny. Well. Suspicious user. Oh, there's like these weird functions I have in my chat. It's been Twitch changed a lot since I last streamed. Well, who the face guy was? The face guy is a character named The Better Half. It's a very meta thing that I never got around to. If you read the stories that I worked on, you may find out. But that requires you to read a lot. The Better Half was attempting to hijack the listener, because that's what... Chat, you remember some of that? I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, what's the better half? Well, it's a thing, you see. It's like... Split from the main character of the TSH series, the better half is like... a meta-breaking kind of entity that was directly speaking to the listener and was trying to sort of take over by being a memory. And that, like, the idea was like, oh, you know, if it's a memory, if it's in someone's head, then technically it's a Mr. BH is not dead, blah, blah, blah. It was like that. It was going to be very dramatic, but, you know, that was very impulsive as an idea. That explained nothing, I know. A lot of people were like, is that Valentino? It's like, no. Valentino in my hands is only for dying. Don't give me Valentino, I'll end up just destroying him. I know this fandom is obsessed with, like, propping him up as, like, this cool guy, but I don't think you understand. He's not safe in my brain. Don't give him to me, he ain't gonna... it's like poetry, it sort of rhymes, you know. It's the Goomkas. There's gonna be this great epic battle. It's gonna be huge. Why would it be Valentino? I don't know. People just assume stuff, but that's okay. It's perfectly fine. I understand. A Kermitino? That's a name. Oh, jeez. Do we even have that emo anymore? Emote, excuse me? We do! Wow, look at that. Legendary Kermitino emote. That's our best one. The only one that makes sense. Oh my god, that's still amazing. That's a brand, that's from us. That's a quality Laz brand thing that came from people in the Discord. No one will ever get that. Anyway. Well. Anyway, Chad, it's getting on. I have some other stuff I've got to do, work stuff. So I'm going to end the stream here. I just wanted to catch up. I know this is not a long one, but hour and a half is pretty good for me here to get everything caught up and just tell you guys what's going on. This, of course, will be uploaded to the channel. I mean, you know, who's going to check it out? But yeah, it's good to hang out again. Yeah, I know. I wish things were normal. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll normalize. I don't know. I will try to do my best. But it's going to be a different year. Things are changing. That's all I know, really. Yeah, but maybe there will be ways to still be excited. But I'm just gonna go do work stuff and chill out, eat a little food. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Really appreciate the well wishes, and I'll stream again. I'll try to do it sometime soon. Maybe I can try to do it on the weekend again. But for now, gotta go. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next stream.
Goodbye, my little spiderlings. Till next time.